For the first costume, you need between 1.5 and 2 yards of material. I went with stretch velvet. Fold it in half lengthwise, and then fold it in half again like this. Don't worry if things don't line up perfect. Smooth out your layers to make sure nothing is too wrinkled or curled under. The first cut we will be making is at the top corner of the folded part, as shown here. Cut roughly this shape. This will be the neck hole, and remember the hole will open up to be 4 times the cut you make. It just needs to be big enough to go over your head. Now, starting at the bottom of the folded edge, I'm going to freehand cut a series of shapes like this. Gradually make them higher to meet the top corner across from the neck hole. That's it. Now open it up and have a look. If you want it to be open in the front, you can just cut it open from the neck straight down to one of the longest points. You could pair this with ears or fangs or whatever you like for many looks. It's super easy to wear over anything for an instant baddie look. Plus, it's comfy. This one is probably my youngest kid's new favorite thing. We went with some nice, soft, warm cloth that doesn't fray for this, but you could even use an old bed sheet. Ours has all kinds of craft room fuzz on it. Yay! You need a piece of cloth long enough to be the length of the cloak you want, plus about an extra foot for the hood. Just fold it in half lengthwise with the right sides of the fabric together. Try to line it all up the best you can, but don't worry too much. You can always trim it up later. You'll need to get that hot glue gun ready. Sometimes I don't plan ahead very well. Got to wait on it to heat up. We're just going to run a bead of hot glue along this top seam between the layers and press it down firmly while it cools. Trim up the front to be even. Check your seam. Now I am going to measure about a foot down from the top seam. This doesn't need to be exact, just close, and tall enough to fit your head in. Then I start making little cuts through both layers. Space them out 2 or 3 inches and make the cuts about 1 inch long. Do this all the way across. Goliad to the rescue once again. Now choose a ribbon or cord you like, and using the cloak as a guide, cut a piece about like so. Make sure you have extra hanging past the cloak. We are just going to weave the cord in and out through the holes all the way around. Like this. It creates a drawstring that makes the hood part of your cloak. I am just reinforcing the top seam since my kid will be using this. Just adding more glue along the top edge of the seam. Don't forget to never put this in the dryer. That glue will melt and become a mess. All we do now is turn it right side out and give it a spin. Literally. She loves my jokes. This one is based on a Victorian costume I love. Start with a large button-up shirt and your choice of color. I went with a 3X because I'm a tall lady. Start by removing the collar along this seam. Just like this. We are going to do the same thing with the cuffs of the sleeves. After you have removed the collar and the cuffs, make sure your shirt is buttoned. Lay your shirt flat and line up the side seams. Smooth it out as well as you can. Starting under the armpits, cut through all the layers at once in a very slight upward curve. I ran into a dang button. We don't need this piece. Unbutton the remaining piece and then fold it where there is a fold along the center of the bag and the button panels line up. Again, smooth it out as best you can. Starting at the back center fold, we are going to make scallop cuts like so. This shirt already has a bit of that shape where the side seams are, so that was less cutting for me. Remove the button panels. Lie out your shirt right side down with the center of the back in front of you. We are going to attach the collar to the top center. You can use all sorts of things to attach it: heat bond, hot glue, or even sew it if you wish. Today, I'm using heat bond. You will need a strip about 3 or 4 inches long. Put it lined up in the center at the top. Lay your collar on the strip as I am doing here. Make sure the button is facing down before you go further, and make sure your shirt is lying right side down. Using an iron at the right setting for your fabric, push down where the heat bond is. Just press down, don't slide the iron. Flip your shirt over and press it from the other side now. With the right side facing you, your collar should look like this. Now we flip it back over again, with the wrong side facing up once more. We follow our upper edge to the far corner. This is where we will attach our cuffs. We are just going to heat bond them in place, like this. Here's a better view of me doing the opposite corner. Done! Fly away! Probably the easiest of them all. With the new movie, I figured this was a good one to throw in. It just takes a black dress, preferably with a rounded neckline of some kind, and sleeves, and a white button-up shirt with slightly longer sleeves. Put on the white shirt under the black dress and fold the shirt cuffs up over the dress sleeves. My kids love being my mannequins. She wants braids. A proper Wednesday Addams. I saved my personal favorite for last. This is my costume for this year. Two of the main things I am using are these $4 antlers from Walmart and this toy Pegasus from Dollar Tree. Also some acrylic paint for primer. I just want the wings from the Pegasus, so I'm going to pull them off. Now I'm going to prime the wings and antlers with black acrylic paint. The main reasons I'm doing this are for good color saturation and just to avoid any reaction between the spray paint and the plastic later. Be sure you fully cover everything. After the acrylic paint dries, we are spray painting these gold. I like Rust-Oleum Metallic. Spray in several light layers, making sure you fully cover the wings and horns. After everything is dry, cut the horns off the elastic strap they come on. Pretty gold horns. Pretty gold wings. I like to use a wide headband for the base in this style of headdress. I do not like the small tilted wig head when I'm working on these though. So much better. Get an idea of how you want to place the horns. Then glue them on with hot glue. I prefer Gorilla brand hot glue. Build up the glue around the outside of the antlers for more stability. Don't worry, no one will see that part. I'm going to cut a piece of floral foam from Dollar Tree. Just a little under an inch thick and sloping on one end. There are better blades for this, but I was too lazy to go get one. Cut it in half along the length so that you get two pieces like this. Now I'm going to cut them again where the thicker ends fit between the antlers, then glue them in place. The sloped pieces go outside the antlers, like this. I know this looks awful right now, don't panic. I'll be using some hot glue and some moss I got from the Dollar Tree to cover the foam all the way around. You can use any kind of moss. I went with the reindeer moss for this part. Now the fun part really starts, deciding what pretties to add to your headdress. Get creative. You can use anything that fits your theme here. I always just have a very loose vision when I start these, so I grab a pile of things to try out. The one key thing is to have objects that vary in size. I'm going to start by adding the bigger key elements I know I want, and then fuss with it until I like it, gluing things in place as I go. This is really a lot of just trying things and making it to suit your own tastes. I'll speed up this part. Now that I have the pretties all stuck into the foam and glued down, I will add a few final touches. I think some Spanish moss hanging from the antlers would be nice. I am going to cut a big and a small rectangle from this Dollar Tree creepy cloth. The longer piece will be attached inside the headband on the back side, like this. When you wear it, it creates a veil effect over your hair. The smaller rectangle I will just put on my head under the headdress, as I might not want it there the whole night. Here it is, styled for my Halloween look. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe.